Ever wonder how artists go from unknown to unforgettable? The University of Arts and Design just launched How Artists Become Known. It's a free seminar series, and we're starting with Van Gogh. Watch now at uad.education. Welcome to the Make and Design podcast. I'm Karina Gardner, and today I am going to be playing for you a live that we did for the Sweet Life of Designer Summit, and this is a book club. I think you will really enjoy it. There's some books here I had not heard of before, and they look amazing. So without further ado, enjoy. We have so many fun books for you guys today, and I can't wait. I love so many of you guys here. So good to see you guys. So like Ravia said, your video was great, Heidi. Love that you put yourself down in the corner. You're like, it's so fun. And Becky said, I can't wait to try the reverse gilding. You guys, so many amazing presentations in this time summit. So we're going to talk about some books. Before I do, I just want to do a big shout out because next week, you guys are all here on the YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, please do. Next week, I'm just going to double check the time. But next week, you can join us on March 19th, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be myself, Lori Whitlock, and Melissa Esplin. We will be doing Easter projects. So you will see us doing crafting for Easter projects next week. And just keep an eye out. I think Cheryl and I will come on and talk to you guys about AI the week after. So I think it's worth hanging around for the next couple of weeks because you're going to see some really cool things happening. All right. Who is wanting to go first, talk about their book? I feel like we should maybe kick off with Heidi just because I know what she's going to talk about. And I am personally obsessed because I've been to Japan twice in the last 2 years. So Heidi, how do you feel?
Yeah, let's do this. Okay. So, like I already mentioned, I always have to find the obscure art techniques. So true to form, that's what I picked today. So what I'm going to be talking about is the book by Barb Seuss. It's called Tamari Techniques, and it is basically like the Tamari Bible. Now, a lot of people are like, I don't even know what a Japanese Tamari ball is, and I totally understand that. So let me just give you a little look at what they are. They can look very many different ways, but basically you start off with a thread ball and then you do like surface embroidery on top of it. And you can come up with all these really cool different designs. And I'm just fascinated with them. So this is by far my favorite thing, but I really like fiber arts, but as a designer, I do like Glowforge and, Cricut designs, but this is my other love. So with Barb's book, it is wonderful because you can go from having never made a Tamari ball to making one in no time at all. And this is actually the first Tamari ball I ever made by using the instructions in her book. So she includes a lot of great images, like the step-by-steps have very clear examples so that you're able to reproduce a really good Tamari ball on your first try. She walks through how to make the core. So, when you're making these, you're making it from the very base. So the core, she covers historical, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like different materials that are used as the base. And then how to actually wrap the ball, which is actually called the Mari. And then she tells you how to make the guidelines, which are what dictate the design that you're going to be making. So they can be anything from really basic to a little more intricate. So these are just like the guidelines to start off. Like this isn't even the design yet. Having the ability to explain to somebody in writing how to make this design on a perfectly spherical surface is pretty impressive. So she does a wonderful job. And then she just builds on all the different techniques so that you can go from making a very like a simpler design to, a very complex design. So, it's a lot of fun. You can make them as easy or as difficult as you want them to be. And so for my all access pass, I actually did a design that is inspired by Japanese tamari balls. So if you happen to pick up the all access, you'll see that this is a Kiku tamari. That's the name of the design. And so I created this design, and I made it into a little tray so that when I'm working on my tamari balls, I can put all my materials in here. So I'm like, oh, it's even more tamari. But this pattern is also great for like making coasters. And I also made some sun catchers with that design file. So my videos for these are going to be going up on my YouTube channel shortly. So if you guys got that design and you want to see exactly how I made that tray or the sun catchers, that should be up shortly.
Yeah, I am obsessed with this. This is like I think this is so incredibly cool. Tina's saying that this is your sister-in-law, Heidi, yeah. It sounds like. She said, and made her the most beautiful tamari ball with such intricate detail of a crane in memory of my father. She's so talented. I love this. And Ruby says, how crazy, I've never even heard of tamari. Yeah. Me neither. Like until I had been to Japan, I had never heard of it. But isn't it gorgeous? It's like the most intricate, beautiful, and it feels so Japanese, don't you think, Heidi? Like, yes. They just, the detail and the love and the way they do things, it's amazing. So anyway, I love it so much. I'm also going to throw this out there because you guys just heard Heidi say that she has this in her all access pass. Typically, the all access pass goes to $97 immediately. But because we had enough people who hadn't come in, like I was seeing you guys all come into the event community last night at midnight. So I had so many of you guys coming in. I kept the price at $47 at 11 o'clock today. That's at the end of this. It will be switching back to the $97. So if you haven't grabbed it yet, we've kept it at the $47. That's usually not typical. So if you want to grab it, you absolutely can. So, Cheryl, how do you feel about coming and talking to us about your books?
Sure. Okay. So I have two oldies but goodies. And that is, I actually have more than that, but The Greatest Miracle in the World and Jonathan Livingston Seagull, which is both of these are my two probably oldest favorite books besides the Bible. Jonathan Livingston Seagull. So I wrote some notes just because I didn't want to miss something, but if you've never read it, I would highly recommend it because it's just so awesome for people who struggle with imposter syndrome. And I have yet to ever meet a female in my life ever. I mean, I'm a couple years old that didn't struggle with imposter syndrome. So you're not alone. Trust me, there are, people can hide whatever, but the truth is, they compare, they think that they're not good enough. And what I love about Jonathan Livingston Seagull is he decides that he's not going to be just like the rest of the flock or the seagulls. And so, I just, again, put some notes down here, refusing to settle for good enough. Jonathan gets cast out of the flock because he wants more than just surviving. As makers, people who question why you are pushing so hard, why you are learning new things, why you are not satisfied with how things have always been done. This book says that relentless inside of you is not a problem, it's a gift. And I truly do believe that. The cost of going against the crowd. When you decide to grow, not everyone's going to cheer you on. Some people will understand why you are investing in your business, learning, or trying something new. Jonathan got outcast for wanting more. Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who will push back the hardest. And again, this book will give you permission to keep going. And that's the truth. And then mastery is its own reward. Jonathan does not fly to impress anyone. He flies because the pursuit of excellence is meaningful on its own. For makers, there is something beautiful about getting better at your craft, not just for sales, but because the work itself matters. That the pride that you create something is worth possessing and protecting. And again, just talking about the imposter syndrome and how people, just don't feel like, Heidi, oh my God, what she just shared, it's like, oh, I could never do that, And the truth is she had to learn it just like we would have to learn it. So, not comparing yourself is, I think, probably number one when it comes to imposter syndrome. And then the next one, which is The Greatest Miracle in the World. And have any of you read that book? Just curious.
Oh my gosh, it's got to be on my list. I feel like I've heard it so many times and I just haven't gotten to it.
Oh my gosh, truly. I mean, it's Og Mandino is amazing. He did the Greatest Salesman in the World. And anyway, so the key concepts in this book, and again, the reason I wanted to share it was because he talks about Simon the Rag Picker. And I probably have read this book, I don't know, 50, 60, 100 times. I don't even know. I love it. I fell in love with Simon the Rag Picker. And he literally goes around picking up people that have kind of given up on life and or feel like, they don't really have a purpose. And then I'll read what I put. Simon the Rag Picker collects discarded, broken things and restores them. His real mission is doing the same with people. He finds people who have given up on themselves and help them see their worth again. How many makers have been on the verge of quitting? This book is definitely for you, for sure. And then there is, at the end of it, it's this section in this book is called the God Memorandum. And it's really about telling you that you were born for a purpose, on purpose, and how important it is to see your purpose in life. And we all have one, and fulfilling it is the greatest call we can have. And I could go on, but I don't know how much time I have to keep talking. So anyway.
Oh my gosh, I totally love that. Cheryl's been in the past. She's come to, she did Sweet Life last year, and we had a book club. And you have so many good book recommendations always. So I haven't read either one of these, which kind of blows my mind. I feel like I'm a big book reader. I mean, there are billions of books, but I'm like, I need to get to both of these because these look incredible.
I read it in a day, literally.
Also, did we notice that Cheryl and I are really matching? Tony's almost matching here. I don't know, like about the electric blue vibes. So I just love, Christine just said, wow, outcast for wanting more. It's changed so much of my life, wanting to grow and change. And yes, there have been people I've had to let go of. And just for today, it's worth protecting my practice.
Yes.
So good. And I'm going to shout out because Christine's artwork is impeccable. So she does incredible artwork. And then Mindy said, I have imposter syndrome for sure. Just bought Karina's class on imposter syndrome. Can't wait to start it and get over my self-doubt. You will, Mindy. Like, it does take a couple of times. Like, you'll go through the exercises, but there is something, I don't know what it is in us. And I'm going to say this. I actually was just having a little chat with AI yesterday about, who are the people who have the most imposter syndrome? It's actually the people who are at the top, which is very fascinating. People with more degrees, people with more knowledge actually have more imposter syndrome. It's because our feeling of being better and being more is actually kind of keeps us stunted a little bit. That's I thought it would be the opposite. I thought it would be people without degrees and people without, big dream. No, it's actually not. So just if you have a little imposter syndrome, keep that in the back of your mind. You're already probably part of the top 5% of people who are growing and willing to grow. And I thought that was very fascinating. Really interesting.
Love it.
All right. Denise, I'm going to pull Denise on here. You want to talk about the book you brought?
Yes. Well, I am still I know it's March, but I'm still in the new year. I need to change some things mode. So I started, I've already listened to it once, but I'm re-listening Atomic Habits by James Clear. And he, right off the gate, he says, and I wrote this down, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems.
Yes.
And it was like I'd just been punched in the face. I was like, yeah, that's exactly my problem. I can write down all these goals, all these things, but it doesn't matter because every day I get up and I do the same things. And so when I have a system, it makes the biggest difference. And I don't know why as makers, I think like November, December can be really crazy because not only is that your busy time, but then if you're hosting the holidays and you're a woman and you're doing the cooking and everything. So by like January, I'm like exhausted. So I don't really like get going until February, which is a whole other thing. But so re-listening to this book is like really helping me just frame some stuff. The other thing he talks about is just getting 1% better, which is like, I can do that. I mean, 1% every day. What can I change every day? 1%. And all that just grows and grows and grows. Another thing is the habit stacking, which I think is huge. Like I forget to take my vitamins. Well, why don't I take my vitamins right after I make my coffee or right after it's just these simple things that just make so much sense. So if you haven't read it or listened to it, I highly recommend it. And I'm just going to talk real quick. This is an old book. I looked it up. It was published in 95. And it's just every day there's an entry that you read. And I'm rereading this year. And it's just kind of like me time to just read what the day is. It's a lot about finding your authentic self, which I think really helps as a creative. I think we're bombarded by so much stuff with social media that I feel like sometimes I'm like, well, is that my style or am I just mimicking what I'm seeing and I want to stay on trend, but all those things. So I highly recommend that book, and I would hope that you would still be able to find it in print. And it's just nice, just every day you just read the entry and go on with your day. And one more book, I don't have it in front of me. It's really small, and it's called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield.
I should have grabbed that for you off my bookshelf. I just looked at it.
This is such a great book. It's a quick read, and it's all about if you have resistance or if you procrastinate. And he shares, and I can't remember, this like poem that you should read. It's like calling in the creativity. It's a little woo-woo, but he's a writer, but I think it applies to whatever practice you do. So that's my third recommendation.
Oh, I love it. So good. Thanks, Denise. I'm going to do my next, and then we'll do Tony last, because Tony's got several books, and I want her to be able to get through as many as she can. I'm going to give you guys 3 books. I actually had 1 book for you today that I'm saving for when I do with me and Cheryl. So I'll save that for you, but it's been the book I've been obsessed with. Like anybody who knows me, I've been reading it for like a few weeks now. So these other books are ones I actually purchased when I was writing coursework for our University of Arts and Design. So this one you can see has some markers in it because I did a huge lecture on it. It's Visual Thinking. This is by Temple Grandin. If you've ever felt like you don't quite fit into, especially the school system is a really verbal place. So we talk with words, we write in testing with words, we think with words in the school system. Not everybody is actually verbal. A lot of people are pattern builders, they're visual builders. And when you think about, she's done all this amazing work because Temple Grandin is autistic. She's done all of this work with especially cattle, because they're not clearly thinking with words, they're thinking with imagery. And she was like, there are people who think with imagery, and she's one of them. And she talks about it. The research in here is incredible, and really a discussion around how we're losing all of our basically astrophysicists and our people at NASA. Like, we don't realize that they are all, a lot of them are visual thinkers, not verbal thinkers. And so we're losing our engineers because of that. This is research-based. It's phenomenal. You can, of course, take it at the University of Arts and Design because I lecture on this book, which is amazing. A second book that I lecture on is How to Make It. This is a fantastic book. It's 25 Makers Share the Secrets to Building a Creative Business. And I love this book because it is, well, first of all, gorgeous, right? And then it really points out each of these makers and what they're creating and building in their creative business. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, so beautiful. They share a project. They talk about their day, what their day really looks like. I think often as creatives and business owners, we don't know what a day ought to look like. And since they're sharing the way their day looks like, first of all, I'm going to say they work longer hours than people realize. Like you start to realize, like, in order to own a creative business, you work long hours, and they fit it into their crazy lives with children and spouse and all of that stuff. This is such a gorgeous book. And we make our master's degree students, our undergraduate certificate students, they have to go through and build their own day so they can kind of see how they line up. So it's pretty fantastic. Also, just beautiful pictures, you guys. It also inspires you. You're like, I want to own a creative business. Like, you look at it and you're like, that's the thing I want in my life. Like, it's pretty motivating. This one is fascinating. It's called The Emotion Behind Money. And the tagline on it, I don't actually see it here, but one of the things I like about this book is that it really digs into why we think, feel hurt because of money. When you think about it, money is not something, especially now, that we even hand to people. Most of us don't actually have any physical money in our hands, right? It's all psychological. And so when you think about that, I think this is a really fascinating book, and how we deal with money, how we think about it. And this can be like one of those life-changing books if you really struggle with your feelings about money. Because I will tell you this, it won't matter how much money you actually make. You could be a billionaire, and we see this all the time. Billionaires are unhappy, right? And they don't know what to do with that money because it's not going to make them happy. Everything I've read, everything I've seen, and especially even in my own life, I will say this, more money amplifies how you already feel about money. And that is a really interesting. If you were happy, very poor, you're probably going to be happy, pretty well off. If you are unhappy, poor, there's a pretty good chance you'll also be unhappy, even as you gain more wealth. So pretty awesome. Veronica says, let's see. Well, Amy says, I ended up homeschooling for a while because my daughter is gifted and I'm not going to say that right, kinesthetic learner. When we moved to a district that wasn't well set up for gifted learners, it about destroyed her. I do think that's very difficult for people who think differently in our current school system, unfortunately. And Veronica says, visual thinking talks about how the schools have moved away from visual learning and the consequences thereof. So that's why I like to teach it at our university. I mean, clearly we work with designers and artists. And so we have a lot of people who think in verbal and visual, and they'll tell me, like, I didn't do well in school. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. You know, it totally makes sense. And unfortunately, a lot of our self-esteem comes from whether we did well in school or not, which is really unfortunate. So anyway, that's kind of a fun set of books for me. Tony, you ready to take it away?
I am, yeah. I could talk about books all day. I love books. I know she had mentioned the Atomic Habits. I really love that one too. And about building, one of my little takeaways that I really loved is the building on like combining things. So if you're brushing your teeth, do something else, or do some squats. I mean, of course, I heard about the book through an exercise person. And so Andrea Fawcett, and I don't know if you guys know her, but anyway, I love books that make you learn, like that really get you thinking, that kind of like, okay, think outside the box, think out, just kind of stretches your brain a little bit. And I think that's probably another reason why I love the art world. I think, when you mention I am a visual learner. Like I that's how I learn. I love to watch things, and I learn to learn. Karina's book there about, the days in the picture in a life of, and creative people. And I just love that. It's like we as children, we learn by getting hands-on. That's how we learn, and it uses our imagination. And so that's what I love about listening to different artists. And because we learn so much from everybody's your classes in here, there's something that it may not be our talent, but I've learned something from each one of the classes so far, and I just love it. I've learned lots of things. But anyway, I also, because I love books so much, I have a few grandkids, and I started a little channel on YouTube, and it's called Storytime with Grandma Tony, sorry. And so I love Sandra Boynton's, which is one of my favorite authors too. And I just love to share the love of learning with my grandkids. I loved it with my own kids. We love story time. We would go to story time at the library. I just love to sit down and read to my kids. I just love books. And I feel like there's just so much that we can get from them that's one way I wanted to share that with some of my grandkids live far away. Most of them do. And so I thought this is a way that we can have a connection through books. And so they can relate. I can relate with them, and I'll send them books and, that sort of thing. And then we'll read them together. So anyway, I also feel like not just learning books, and yes, I love Nicholas Sparks and the Notebook classic, but I love reading for pleasure too, kind of get you out in that. Sometimes, I love my life and I love everything about it, and, even the trials, whatnot, but I love getting to slip into somebody else's little dreamland for just a minute, and I think that's important, that we kind of get in a different idea and realize that everybody has trials, but everybody has joys, and trying to hear about those. Okay. I heard about this book from, I believe, Bonnie Christine. Anyway, I love this little book, but it really does still like an artist, and it really helps you kind of relate as an artist. And I'm sure you can take it in any, whatever your line of work is, but there are just you see something that inspires you, and we're not supposed to copy, obviously, because copying is not good, but see something that inspires you and do your own takeaway, and I love that because it just kind of walks you through, hey, this is, see everything out in the world. I mean, God is the best artist. He's the perfect artist. So are we not stealing from him, everything, because it was once created by him? So I just love that. Okay, another, and I'll put an ad in there too, because I'm an artist. I like to paint little bookmarks. You guys do that? So, and I love Karina's, all the little tabs in your books, because there's so many things to remember, important things out of books. I love this one, Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life by Bob Proctor. It's a great book, and it's a short read, but it is the little tiny mental shift just can change. If you've, say, for example, if you're flying a plane, you are on a plane and you're going one way, one course, and you slightly shift that, you're going to end up in a whole different place. And so that's really kind of how this book, it talks a lot about that. Just change it slightly and you're going to be on a different course. And I love that. Last one I'll share is Amy Porterfield's 2 weeks notice. Find the courage to quit your job, make more money, work where you want, change the world. Just take that step, that 10 seconds of courage, and when you're in this line of work, I have found that you have to gear yourself up. Okay, I can write this email and I'm going to send it out, or I'm going to, to take that extra step to do something a little challenging that is going to better your life as an artist, or better your life as a person. Sometimes we just have to do hard things in life, and just have that courage and just do it. So anyway, I just love reading. So thanks for inviting me.
I love it so much. And, I didn't introduce everybody and why they're here or how they ended up here, but I think one of the fun things is just where everyone came from. Cheryl and I knew each other before, and then actually was in my creative entrepreneur mastermind program last year, which was really fun. But Cheryl's been in the industry for how long? Forever.
Unmute. Minimally 15 years, depending on if you want to go back a little bit further when I actually started with embroidery and all that. But in the personalization, 15 years.
Yeah. So it's quite a while and doing all kinds of really cool things.
Yeah. Certainly had my group since then. Yeah.
Yeah. So. And then Tony, I kind of reconnected over Silhouette, I would say, probably, Tony. But what have you been doing the last little bit? And what is your focus?
Oh, well, obviously growing. I'm kind of going more into the YouTube. I used to do custom designs for people. That's how I kind of started out, as doing, I've always done something, scrapbooking, card making, whatnot. But I did custom designs for people for so many years, just locally. And I was like making one design once, and I thought, after reading books more too, it's like, work hard, work smarter, not harder. I mean, you're always going to work hard. But so then I got introduced into, finally did that 10-second of courage thing and reached out to Silhouette. I'm a designer there, and that's how I met Karina. I've always watched her classes or courses, done things, and I've just really, she's inspired me so much because she just does everything, and she does it so gracefully. She just makes it look easy. Not that it's easy, because I know it's not, but I just love her inspiration. And I love fabric. I love sewing. So I want to do it all, but I'm a designer now of selling my designs. So that's what I do. And I love it. And I appreciate it.
And it's fun because we have a mutual friend, because Brenna was one of your girls in your neighborhood. And Brenna has been not only in Design Suite, but is one of our MFA students at the University of Arts and Design, which is really cool. Brenna's kind of a superstar. So we would love her so much.
She rocks.
Denise and Heidi are both Design Suite members. So I think this is really fun. Denise was with us 2024 and 25?
No, I think 23, 24.
It's been a little bit. Yeah, it's been a little while, and doing still.
Yeah, I can't, because I extended, and I don't know.
Yeah. Doing so many incredible things, though. And you guys saw her workshop doing such gorgeous things. Heidi's actually a current member right now.
Right.
Yeah. She livens up our Marco Polo group. Like, she's also the first person to jump in and help someone the moment they need help. Like, we had a situation where one of the members owns a business and needed a stencil that was not going to come in time. And Heidi's like, "Oh, I can make it for you. I've got this laser. I'm going to cut it out for you." Sent it over to her. It was just like a helping hand. Like, that is Heidi to a T.
That's awesome.
So fun. So I love all of these ladies and what they're doing. They're doing incredible work. If you want to go find out more about them, we're just going to go around real quick. If you guys want to say where people can find you, that would be awesome. Cheryl, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Sublimation for Beginners and Beyond, which will be changing very soon, probably today, to be Creative Makers Facebook, and then Creative Makers Academy.
Awesome. So go check that out, you guys. That'll be really, really fun. Heidi?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Etsy. They're all Heidi Ellery Design. And then I do post full-length tutorials on YouTube, so make sure to check that out.
Yeah, so good. I love it. Tony?
TonyEmily.com, my website, but also anywhere social media and YouTube. So TonyEmily.com.
Awesome. Denise?
I am Denise Levy Studio on all the socials. DeniseLevyStudio.com will take you to my Etsy shop, and then you can find me in the Silhouette Design Store at Denise Levy Studio.
Incredible. Go check these ladies out, what they're doing. I hope you really enjoy their workshops. You will enjoy their freebies. So we have those available here at the Sweet Life of a Designer. And then if you have the all access pass, in about 15 minutes, the price is raising. So if you want to go grab that at the lower price, please go do that. And you will get all of their all access freebies as well, which they have done an amazing job on. So I think you guys will really, really love that. thank you so much for joining us, you guys. We've loved having you at this summit. I hope you've really enjoyed it. I just put up on the feed. Oh, and someone asked, can we get this book list? The answer is yes. So I'm going to keep these ladies on here for a second. We'll get a list together for you guys, and we'll post it directly in the YouTube description for you, so that if you want to go dig deeper into any of these books, you have access to them. So I know some of you are probably writing notes like crazy. I know that's what I do when there's like a book club. So keep an eye on the YouTube channel. We have a great video next week with Lori Whitlock, and Melissa will be in the barn at the kitchen making all the things. And then a couple weeks after that, you'll see Cheryl and I will come on and talk to you guys about AI. And I'm going to do one last plug. If you have been thinking about doing a master's degree or an undergrad design certificate, come check us out at the University of Arts and Design. We are a new school. We are an adaptable school. We're doing incredible things that we can, because we're online, we're new, and we're flexible in a way that a lot of universities aren't. And we're doing things very differently. As in, your master's of arts degree, instead of writing a thesis, you build a business. We don't know anyone who's doing anything like that. And it's not a simulation. We see a lot of MBAs with simulations. It is not a simulation. You literally build a business. And that is really cool. You can do that in your design certificate as well. If you decide you want to do the MFA, not only do you do that, but then you also do a accumulating studio project, which is a huge art project and exhibition. So we're very, very proud of our students who've already graduated and all the ones that are coming through right now at this university. And so right now we are only taking students from 19 states, and you can find that all at uad.education. We will see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Want to hang out more? Go to designsuitecourses.com/free to get our weekly freebies and patterns, die cut files, and more. Can't wait to see you there. I have a gift for you. My third book, The Intentional Design Year, is out, and I want to give you access to read it. To get the digital copy for 1 month for free, go to www.designsuitecourses.com/intentional. Make sure and do the www. Because for some reason, that's the only way it will work. Anyway, this will get you free access to read the book for an entire month. If you love it, you can always go to Amazon and get the whole book plus the prompt journal.